Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Ron. I get asked about CrossFit quite a bit because my wife has been doing it almost 10 years, and occasionally I'll make random posts on my Facebook or Instagram, pictures of her talking about CrossFit or whatever. Mostly whenever I take pictures of her, post pictures of her. So people want to know my opinion of CrossFit at times. Have I ever done it? And there's a lot of discussion on the boards about CrossFit. It's something that pops up every now and then. People argue about it. Is it a terrible way to exercise? Is bodybuilding better? Do they have good physiques? Whatever related topics. And I just wanted to make this video because I finally did a CrossFit workout on Memorial Day. I've been very familiar because, as I said, my wife's been doing it almost 10 years now. She used to be, she's trained pretty much as long as me, about around 35 years. She competed in figure, she competed in bodybuilding. She trained like a bodybuilder for a good 25 years, let's say, between 20 25 years, before she started doing this for something different. And she liked it so much, for a while she tried to do both bodybuilding style training on some days, CrossFit on other days. It doesn't really work for reasons I'll maybe get into in a future video if anyone has any interest in hearing about it. But safe to say, eventually she stopped trying to do both because it just wasn't possible and has been focusing on CrossFit. So a few years ago, I tried to do one of her workouts with her. I didn't make it through at all. It was the first two things you had to do were sprinting on a treadmill, and then you had to immediately follow that up with like 20 or 30 air squats. It doesn't sound that bad, it does it, but the type of muscle fibers I have in my legs, you might know that I have, that's always been a really good muscle group for me, size and strength wise. I don't know, I think I just had the wrong type of muscle fiber because they pumped up so much that I literally could no longer move. They couldn't move. It was a crazier pump than, supersetting drop set of 100 reps on leg extensions with like a 100 rep leg press or something. It was tough. So anyway, Memorial Day, a lot of gyms, CrossFit boxes, they call themselves boxes, across the United States, they all do the same workout. It's called Murph. So Murph is named after a Navy SEAL named Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy, who was killed in Afghanistan in 2006 and posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. If you saw the movie Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg, that was his story, Murph. And this apparently was his favorite workout, which he did with like a big, very, very heavy weighted vest, I'm sure. But traditionally, it's done with a 20-pound vest across CrossFit boxes. These aren't Navy SEALs for the most part. They're regular people that just like to work out. I did not wear a vest. I'm just going to warn you. That wasn't even consideration. So what is the workout? Murph is, you run 1 mile, you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then you run another mile. And you're doing it for time. The maximum limit they'll give you is an hour. Anybody should be able to do all that in an hour, theoretically, right? So my wife challenged me the other night. We hadn't had a couple drinks together in quite some time. She had a couple drinks, I had a couple drinks. And I was asking her, I'm always asking her about CrossFit. It's kind of like a little running joke between us. I kind of tease her about it, but it's not really teasing. I admire her. She trains her ass off, my wife. She trains like a beast. So she challenged me to do it Memorial Day at the CrossFit East Coast over there, which is inside a larger club called the Bayshore Athletic Club. That's the gym I train at in Braintree, Mass, with the Goon. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. First I asked what it was, because there's certain things that they do that I just can't do. Like the double under jumping rope. I can't jump rope. There's just a few things they do in CrossFit that there's no way I'd be doing. So I didn't run a mile. I ran about a half mile and I fast walked the rest of it. I was just dying. I haven't run a mile probably, if I'm being totally honest and my memory serves, probably not since around 1986. I was a junior in high school. I used to run with my buddy Tom Burke because we were doing kickboxing classes together once a week, and then we would do a little bit of weight training and running a couple other days a week on our own. So I weighed about 130 pounds back then. Actually, junior, maybe 125. I don't know. Now I'm about 228. That's right where I'm at right now. So yeah, running. I could probably run if I ran more, but I don't. I never run. You know, I do cardio. I thought I was in pretty good cardio condition, but running, like run outside on pavement, it's a whole other animal. It's, you know, I proved that. So anyway, I did the mile, running and fast walking. So I didn't do 100 pull-ups in a row. I didn't do all those pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats at once, like in blocks. Broke it up into, you know, my wife figured this out because she's the CrossFit expert. Break it up into 20 rounds and have a dry erase board with a little eraser and 1 through 20 written, so you can, every time you finish a round, you can erase it. So my rounds were 20 different rounds of 20 rounds of 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and 15 air squats. So if I did all those, they would add up, right? Now, so the chin-ups. Your bodybuilders, the way we do chin-ups, we're doing them to develop the back, and we're trying to engage the lats maximally. We're trying to really make the lats do the work and squeeze the muscle and all this, because we're doing them to get a bigger back. People in CrossFit don't do anything to develop a muscle specifically. They're training for strength, for power, for agility, for endurance. You know, they're trying to be as fit as possible, the fittest people on earth. So they do this wide variety. They do all kinds of things, you know, kettlebell swings, rope climbs, wall balls, where you throw this ball against the wall. They run. It's a wide variety of different things that they do in their workouts. Not every day, obviously. They just pick a few each day to focus on. So that's how I do chin-ups. And I was just going to do wide grip. 5 chin-ups is not, you know, I'm not good at chin-ups right now. If I dropped some weight, got really lean and lighter, and did chin-ups every back day, and maybe threw them in at another point in the week, I would get much better. Like when I'm in contest condition, when I'm right around 205 or so, I can bang out 20 good wide grip chin-ups with a squeeze at the top. Right now, you know, 8 would probably be my max, and maybe that's pushing it because I haven't done them in a while. When I do them on a regular basis, I get better at them, and when I'm lighter, I get even better. This probably applies to everybody. But CrossFitters don't do chin-ups that way. They typically do them with a lot of body motion. They do this either kipping thing or butterfly. If you look up kipping pull-up, if you're interested, on YouTube or something, you'll see it's a weird motion. It's like a wave motion that their body sort of, and that's the most efficient way. If you want to do a ton of pull-ups, do them that way, because you're involving like almost every muscle in the body. You're using momentum, you're using everything, because the goal is to do as many pull-ups as possible. It's not to isolate a muscle group or get anything like that going. They don't care. And the ironic thing is, a lot of these CrossFit women have awesome backs, great traps, great shoulders, and great backs. You see that all the time on women who are really good at CrossFit. You know, the ones who compete and are trying to get to the games. And if you ever watch the CrossFit Games on ESPN, ESPN2, everyone's in awesome shape, but the women, some of these women are they're diesel. I love it. So anyway, that's how you do it in CrossFit, the chin-ups. You're just trying to do it as efficiently as possible. Like if you're being chased by a guy with a gun and there's a wall in front of you, are you going to do a strict pull-up to get over it? Or are you just going to heave, you know, use everything you got to get over that damn wall? So that's real life. They're training for life. They're not training to be jacked or look good naked or whatever. So okay, so I was okay. 5 pull-ups, did those. Push-ups did not present any problem. You know, I can do push-ups. Air squats, no problem. Also, I can, you know, if I can squat a few hundred pounds, I can do some 15 reps with my body weight. As the pull-ups went on, you know, I was trying not to take too much rest between rounds. I'd have a little sip of water, erase it, and take a few breaths, and I go again. I didn't really give a crap about getting a good time on this. I didn't, but I didn't want to be lazy either. I wanted to get a good workout, because this was like, I would have been doing back that day. It would have been one of my weight training and cardio days. And, you know, I think I trained pretty hard. I burned some calories, so I wanted this to be a good workout. So it was around the 10th or 11th round. I'm doing the wide grip pull-ups, and I'm getting more tired. So my form it had to be something where my form was a little off. Something was a little off, because I was coming up for rep 2 or 3, and I felt right in here, pop. That's my bad arm in the first place, the smaller of the 2 arms. So I don't need to be fucking that one up anymore, since I already fucked up. But oh well. So soon as that happened, I'm like, oh shit. I'm not going to be training biceps for a while, or right biceps. So maybe I can still do my left bicep. Back training. Immediately that's what went through my head is, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to train biceps for a while. I'm not going to be able to train back properly for a while, maybe, you know. Because that's, I love training, and anything that hampers it, I don't love. So it's an option on that you can either do chin-ups or what they call ring rows. So, they have rings, like gymnastics rings, set up for different things that they do in CrossFit, like the muscle up, ring dips, or these ring rows, which are, you've probably seen like people at your gym doing them with TRX, people that aren't strong enough to do a chin-up. They have these rings, and they'll be horizontal underneath them, and they'll pull themselves up like a row with their body weight. So I switched to those, and they didn't bother my bicep that much. I was able to do them. So I finished. When it came to time to run again, I started out with a pace I would best describe as that like slow jog when a Major League Baseball player hits a home run into the stands, and there was no particular rush to go around the bases and back to home plate. So that was I did that for one round back and forth. They had it marked out, so if you went to this point and back 4 times, that was a mile. So again, I fast walked. I didn't feel bad about it either. I hate running. My legs were killing me from the 300 reps of air squats. My legs are super sore. That was Monday. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, my legs are really sore today. Like, I had a great leg workout yesterday, even though, I didn't touch a weight. Those air squats, they add up. So other than pulling my biceps, it was a good day. And let me tell you, afterwards, these CrossFitters look out for each other. They had, fruit, cookies, beer if you wanted it. I didn't have any beer. All kinds of snacks and good things to chow down on once you're done. Because these people, it's more of a definitely camaraderie in CrossFit than we have in bodybuilding. And that's something I want to make a statement about is these CrossFitters, they, like I said, they look out for each other. They cheer each other on. They're supportive. They genuinely want to see everyone have good workouts and, meet their goals. Like if they're trying to lose weight or trying to get stronger, they're just very supportive. Every class is taught by they have group classes. That's what CrossFit is. And it's a coach leads each one through the workouts. And these men and women, they're very, very positive, very supportive. Tough love too sometimes when people need it, but they're there to make sure everyone has a great workout and is having a good positive CrossFit experience. But like I said, and I don't think there's a lot of real rivalry or jealousy or anything. I've been around CrossFit gyms, secondhand through my wife, quite a bit over the years, and I've been to competitions all the way from little things they have at a local gym where like 2 or 3 other gyms will just show up and then have a little what they call throwdown. I've been to the regionals, the Northeast regionals 3 times now. So that's all the best CrossFitters individually and in teams from the entire northeastern United States, plus this eastern part of Canada, like New Brunswick, Ontario, Quebec. So I've seen some really elite level CrossFitters in action. These people they're awesome. But one year, when they did it here up the street in Canton at the Reebok building, the very first thing they had to do, was to walk on their hands up and down the length of a football field. Maybe it was half the length. I'm sorry. It was probably half the length of a football field. It was still impressive because if they fell down, they got penalized. So, and some of them did it straight out of the box. Another thing, I used to do a column for Men's Fitness RX, which is one of MD's sister publications, Fitness RX for Men. I did a column for the guy Rich Froning Jr., who was world champion the CrossFit Games, and every time he won, he got $500,000. Plus, he was sponsored by Reebok. He owns his own CrossFit gym. Not really, really good guy. But I did his column for a little bit, so I got to talk to him. And one day, he told me what they had to do. One of the times he won the world title, the CrossFit Games. You're the fittest man on earth if you win that, by their definition. The first thing he had to do that day, the very first, I should say day one, and they have no idea what's going to be involved. They don't know what kind of events because it changes. You have to be, it's the person who's trained for to expect anything is and can do anything better than anyone else will be the winner. So the first day they said, okay, guys, today you're doing a full triathlon. So they had to run, they had to bike, they had to swim, and that was just day one. It's like it's a 3-day event. So I respect the crap out of these guys and girls, these women. They're elite. They're amazing athletes. I'm not going to debate whether they're better athletes than NFL players or worse athletes or you know, I don't think it's really fair to say who's a better athlete when we're talking about people that are all world-class athletes. You know, they're at the Olympic level as far as fitness and agility and athleticism. They're amazing specimens. And you know, some of them have pretty damn good physiques, and they're not trying to. They don't sit around and they don't train like we do. They don't isolate muscles. They're not sitting there doing cable crossovers and, you know, incline dumbbell presses and curls and leg extensions. And, you know, they do a lot of lifting in their training. CrossFit includes a lot of things like they do squats, they do front squats, they do overhead presses. They do things like ring dips that involve a lot of chest and shoulders, kettlebell swings. They use a lot of weights, but they're never trying to isolate. And the ones with, you know, obviously it's anybody. I've always said that anybody who has pretty good genetics, or let's say gifted genetics, any type of hard weight training or intense training is going to bring out a pretty damn good physique. So if someone's got great genetics, even if they never train like a bodybuilder, as long as they do some kind of intense training, they're still going to look pretty good. They look more like a bodybuilder if they train like a bodybuilder, obviously. But I've been like to that regionals 3 times, let's say, and I've seen guys walking around who were built much, much better, I can guarantee you, than most of the people that talk shit about CrossFit. A lot of these people that, you know, they think of themselves as bodybuilders and they have this superiority thing where they, you know, they think they're better than other athletes. And they make fun of CrossFitters, they're fads, this and that. Sorry to use that word, but they use it all the time when they're talking about CrossFitters. You know, they say these guys are pussies and they make memes, funny memes about it like women wouldn't. Let me tell you. So some of these guys have great physiques, like I said, better than a lot of guys who consider themselves bodybuilders that I know. So, and they're CrossFitters in general are more financially successful. I'll tell you that, than bodybuilders, because to be a member at a CrossFit gym will go anywhere from $100 to $250 a month. There's not a lot of broke ass people doing CrossFit. It's a lot of successful people, you know, young professionals, a lot of young professionals. It's a lot of nurses. It's a lot of attorneys. You know, it's not cheap. So generally speaking, the people that do it are fairly successful. And I'm not trying to shit on bodybuilding. I'm a bodybuilder. I love bodybuilding. I just don't think we should be shitting on CrossFit. You know, it's a different way, very different way of training. It's not better. Our way is not better. Their way is not better. As far as I'm concerned, anybody that really trains hard on a consistent basis, no matter what that is, you know, maybe it's martial arts training, maybe it's CrossFit, maybe it's, I don't know, whatever. I respect that because that's more than what most people do. Most people sit around and eat and watch TV and don't do any type of training on a regular basis. Forget about hard training. And these CrossFitters, like my wife trains her ass off, like I said. She goes all out, you know, she's all red and pouring buckets of sweat and, you know, she trains like a beast. She always did as a bodybuilder. And whatever type of training she did, she would give it 100%. That's just like, you know, that's how I am. That's how a lot of you guys are. You know, we don't train half-ass. We put everything into it. We don't want to leave the gym knowing we could have trained harder or given more. We want to always give it our best effort every time. And that's it. You know, I won't be doing CrossFit again. Maybe I'll do Murph next year on Memorial Day again, you know, in memory of Lieutenant Murphy. And that time I probably will do just the ring rows and I should be good. Maybe I'll practice running a little bit leading up to it just so I'll actually be able to run the mile instead of fast walking large portions of it like I did this time. But that's all. I'm not going to be doing CrossFit again. It's nice. I respect these guys. I get along really well with the people in these gyms that my wife goes to, and the coaches. They're cool people. I like them all. And, you know, we're all in this together, people. All of us who really put a large emphasis, a big part of our life is working out and eating right. You know, we're a rare breed, whether we're bodybuilders or CrossFitters or whatever. There's not a lot of us who are really dedicated to it, to that level. So I hope they respect us. I respect them. And that's about all. I want to remind you, if you're watching this on YouTube, to please subscribe to the MD YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching the Ask Ron series. If you have questions, please go to musculardevelopment.com, register on our forum. It's a cool place to hang out, chat, argue, debate, whatever you want to do. Post pictures, start threads. That's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.